Okay, everyone, welcome to your last section for the year. So we are on 12.6, and this little beginning section here is just a little bit of a review from some circles. So if you need to pause the video and get some of this stuff down if you don't remember, that's fine. But definition of a circle, we have the set of all points equidistant from the center. The radius is the distance from the center of a circle to the edge of it. Tangent is a line that touches the circle at exactly one point. And our chord, one important thing about that, so we have a line segment with endpoints on the circle's edge, but this could be a diameter. Okay, so don't forget that little tidbit there. So moving on to spheres now, we have that a sphere is the locus, which is just another word for set, okay? But the set of all points in a space that are equidistant from the center. Okay? In a sphere, we define a chord, a tangent, and a radius the same way as in a circle. Okay? And here we have the great circle is the circle that contains the center of the sphere when the sphere is cut by a plane. So right here, here I'll put it in green, this right here would be considered the great circle, okay? Now we have two new formulas here. The surface area of a sphere, that's going to be 4 pi r squared. And then our volume is going to be 4/3 pi r cubed. Now, for me, I always remember the r squared is with the surface area. Area is always squared. And then that r cubed is always with the volume since we are measuring in cubic units, okay? So for our examples here, number 2 you're going to do on your own, but I have the answers there for you to check your work. We're going to do numbers 1 and 3, and then number 4, here's your final answer as well, but you'll do that one on your own. So for this first one, we'll go ahead and find the volume first, okay? So remember our new formula is going to be 4/3 pi r cubed. So that's super simple. We already have our radius given to us. So we have 4/3 times 7 cubed. And again, make sure you're only cubing that 7. You're not cubing the entire 4/3 pi. And once we do that, we're going to get 1,436.76 inches cubed. And again, make sure you're really careful about your units, especially when it asks volume and surface area, okay? Depending on your teacher, they might be super picky about that. So get in the habit now of labeling that correctly. So then our surface area is going to be 4 pi times 7 squared, okay? So 4 pi r squared, and that's going to be equal to 615.75 inches squared. Now, for questions like number 3, basically it's the same kind of idea as circles. If you were given one item of a circle, like either the area, the radius, the diameter, or the circumference, you would be able to find all 4 of those things. Same idea with a sphere. Here it's giving us the volume, so we're going to be able to find the radius, diameter, and surface area of the sphere. You only need one item, okay, to be able to find all those. So since we have the volume given to us, we're going to go ahead and plug that 457.98 in for our volume formula. So that 4/3 pi r cubed. Okay, so to get r by itself first, I'm going to go ahead and move that 4/3 pi over by dividing both sides by that, or we could just do multiply by the reciprocal. So technically that would be 3/4 pi is going to be multiplied by that 457.98, and that's going to equal our r cubed. So if we simplify that, I guess, we'll get 109.3347. And reason I'm carrying that out just a little bit more than normal is because we're taking a cubed root, so I want it to be a little bit more accurate. Or you could have technically taken the cube root right here, but that's a lot to type in your calculator, okay? But once we go ahead and do that, we're going to easily solve for r, and we're going to get 4.7817, okay? And again, that depends on how many places you rounded to here. But now that you have your radius, finding our diameter is going to be super simple. We just have to multiply that radius by 2. And when we do that, we're going to get 9.5635. And finally, for our surface area, we technically only need our radius for that. So our surface area is that 4 pi r squared. So 4 pi times that 4.7817 squared. And once you plug that in, you're going to get 287.33. And then again, make sure you have your units. This case we have centimeters, and we're going to square that. Okay? So please let me know if you have any questions at all. And then, as I mentioned, you're just going to have a 9-question homework assignment. Let me go here 1 second. Oh, this isn't loading. Okay, there we go. I'll go ahead. The key will be posted. For this last problem, I do want to make sure for your surface area, when you're dealing with this half sphere, remember, for surface area, you're going to want to subtract this circle right here, because for your surface area of this entire shape, this part, this circle, it's the great circle if you want to be specific, that part is not on the outside of this shape. So just be careful when you're finding the surface area of that one, okay? If you have any questions, please let me know.